second half of chat number 251, and it was titled How to Bust a Bad Mood. So the second half, though, we're going to be talking about if potatoes are zero. So I need you to either raise your hand or I need you to comment below if you chose, and thank you guys, thank you Alicia, and Vicky has too. So I need to know if you chose potatoes as one of your 0-point foods. I need you to comment below, and you can do that if you're watching it here with us live tonight on Sunday, December the 5th, or if you're watching later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, thank you Tate, or if you're watching it later when this posts to Facebook. So go ahead and comment, and Marianne does, so, or Marianne did. So I need to know if potatoes are zero. So I'm going to say, when you took your WW assessment for the first time or the second time or the 15th time or however many times you've taken it, there were many opportunities to choose one or more of your favorite whole foods. And I'm going to call them whole foods because anything that you had an opportunity to choose as a 0-point food started out as a whole food. So you didn't choose anything that was already in a box. You didn't choose anything that was already in a bag, anything that was already processed. You didn't choose any of that as 0-point foods. Okay, so if you so before Thanksgiving, I did not have potatoes as a 0-point food. I had chosen whole wheat pasta instead because and beans, because that was the two things that are more normal for me to eat. But right before Thanksgiving, I retook my assessment and I chose potatoes as one of my 0-point foods because we had lots of family gatherings coming up, and quite simply the ease of finding things that were made with potatoes, and it's everybody's favorite spud. It just made sense for me during this season. So I retook my assessment and I chose potato. I said that I was changing for seasonal eating time, and I went ahead and chose potatoes. So if you chose potatoes, then the second half of this chat is for you. If you didn't choose potatoes, though, do not jump off of here. Don't tune me out, okay? Because you may find a season in your life when you need to choose potatoes. Plus, we're going to talk about some yummy potato things that even if they are points for you, you might want to know. So here are some ways, and Alicia, I know, I have to be careful with potatoes too. So Alicia just said I would get in trouble if it was potatoes. So I have the capability of doing that also. So here are some ways to avoid that, and here are some yummy things to do with potatoes. So potatoes, what are you going to do with them? So, and Melinda says, me and Mr. Spud are good friends. So what are some things to do with them? So I chose 2 different kinds of potatoes to start this second half with. So one of these is just a russet potato, and one of these is a sweet potato. So in the past, sweet potatoes had been a better option for me because I won't just sit and eat sweet potatoes, okay? Not gonna happen. I love sweet potatoes though, and right now they are 0 points for me, and I can eat these just baked with a little bit of light butter, or if I've saved up enough points, real butter. How yummy is real butter. But baked potatoes, baked russet potatoes, and baked golden or Yukon Gold potatoes. Yukon Gold are actually my favorite, but baked potatoes, I'm going to tell you a little secret. So if you've been watching me for any length of time, you should already know this. I will never, ever, ever, never microwave another potato, okay? That I did that the other night because I thought I was in a hurry. I threw it away. So if John is still here, you can ask him. I took like maybe 2 bites of it and I threw it away. Okay? It was disgusting. So a microwaved potato, if you have this option, do this. So potatoes are so much better if you do them in, wrong way, Kelly. If you do them in the air fryer, okay? If you will just stop an air fryer baked potato, if you have an air fryer or if you have 2, like I have at work, or if you have 4, like I own all together, I have 2 here, 1 at home, and 1 for the camper. So we have 4 air fryers, but we need them. An air fried baked potato is so much better. So for a regular potato, and about this size, and you don't have to get it this big, but a regular potato, we do have a chat for that, and there is also a recipe for this on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can find how to air fry a potato. So either one of them, wash it really good, poke a couple of holes in it with a fork, set it in the air fryer. I wouldn't do a russet potato and a sweet potato at the same time. The sweet potato is going to take a little less time to cook. But I do it at 390. I do this for about 35-40 minutes for this size potato, and then check it again with a fork. I have always done the sweet potatoes for just a little bit less time. I check them a little bit sooner, but I'm telling you, if you love baked potatoes at a restaurant, you've got to try them. If you have an opportunity, you have got to try them in an air fryer. And again, this is on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can already go back and see it, or we have a chat for that. So if you're new, we have, well, this is 251. So we have over 250 chats that you can go back and watch on YouTube.com. And yes, I do. So Vicky wants to know if you prick the potato before air frying it. Yes, I do. I literally take a fork, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not cooking this one tonight, but I literally take a fork and go poke. And then when it's done, and you cut it, and if you all watched that previous chat, or if you've watched anywhere I've made a potato, I take a sharp knife when it's done. After I've decided that it's fully done, I take a sharp knife and I do a zigzag cut like this, and then squeeze it like this. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's fluffy. It makes it totally worth it. It's the best baked potato that you will ever have, short of a restaurant. And then you can fill it with whatever you want to. I'm going to suggest that if you do, so a sweet potato, I do like to do sweet potatoes with, if I've got some extra points, with a little bit of butter, some cinnamon and sugar is good, or so you could do some cinnamon and truvia in there is good. Marshmallow, just a couple of marshmallows is good. You don't have to add a lot to a sweet potato. They're so sweet anyway. You just don't have to add a lot to them. To a russet or to a Yukon Gold potato, think about it. If this is 0 for you, then you can fill it full of 0 point, like if chicken or turkey breast is 0 for you, you could fill it full of chicken or turkey breast. You could put taco soup in there. You could add just a little bit of cheese. You could do non-fat plain Greek yogurt as your sour cream. There's all kinds of things that you can do with a baked potato. Okay, so that's one thing. Just plain baked potatoes is one. And I'm serious when I say, please, if you have an opportunity, please try them in the air fryer. You will not go back. I threw the microwave potato away. It was disgusting. I used to eat them that way all the time, but it was absolutely disgusting. Okay, the next way is roasted. I prefer, so instead of a big potato like this, if I'm going to be roasting potatoes, I don't buy big potatoes for roasted them. So I buy this size, and I'm going to hold it like this. I hope you can see. You can probably see about what size these are. So this is, and sorry, Melinda's exactly right. For low points, you could go to Wendy's and get a chili and put it on top of your air fryer baked potato. I promise you, your air fryer baked potato is going to be better. It's going to be better than the one that you could get at Wendy's. And Sandra, I did not think of that. Sandra said to put sugar-free maple syrup on the sweet potato. I think I'm going to try that. Thank you, Sandra. That sounds fantastic. And I have some of that here at Casey Kitchen Center and at home. So I'll be trying that. Thank you. That's why we're here. You all have just as good of ideas as I do. And that's where I get a lot of my ideas, is from you all. So these are little potatoes. These are called This is from Tasteful Selections, and it's a sunrise medley of bite-sized potatoes. So very small potatoes like this. They're about the size of a Brussels sprout. Those are great for roasting. Those are great for roasting. Again, you can roast those in the air fryer. You can roast them on a cookie sheet. If you've seen any of those, like those cookie sheet or sheet pan, I think they're called sheet pan recipes. People will put chicken or turkey or fish, if fish is one of your 0 point foods, and then put some vegetables and then put some of these bite-sized potatoes on there. And if they're still just a little bit big, you can cut them in half first. Spritz them with a little bit of olive oil. You can use I never know which way to point. Hold on. Evo, you can use your Evo sprayer like this and spritz it with a little bit of olive oil or whatever your favorite kind of oil is. You can do that. And then put your favorite seasoning on there and roast them. My gosh, those are so good. This is also the right size to do the smashed potatoes. So if you've seen any of the recipes where people are cooking their potatoes, then they're taking a heavily leaded, like a heavy glass or something heavy, and then squish them like that, kind of smash them, and they're doing smashed potatoes like that. Those are also fantastic. I've got a recipe for that, and I think Pound Dropper does as well. But smashed potatoes are awesome. And this size potatoes, they're also, well, they make really good mashed potatoes too, if you want to take the time to do that. But these are also really good if you quarter them. So if you take these little potatoes, little ones like this, it's colorful and fun and delicious if you quarter them and then add those to your soup. So if potatoes are zero for you, I would add them to your soup too. So that's a good way to do, to add some smaller potatoes to your meals. Okay, soup. I just said soup. So you can add potatoes to your soup. So there are a lot of different ways to add potatoes to your soup. You can do these, like I just said. You can buy frozen potatoes. You can add those into your soup. When I do not have potatoes on my 0 points list, then I avoid the bagged soup mixes that have it's like carrots, peas, celery, and chopped potatoes. So they have little potatoes in them. I usually avoid those if I don't have potatoes on my list. But hey, if potatoes are zero for you, you can totally do that. And Vicki said, OMG, potato soup. And I think Pound Dropper right now has a creamy potato cheese soup. And I've seen a loaded potato soup this season. And Carol has potatoes with her breakfast most mornings. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Carol's like psychic also, if y'all didn't know that. So she usually announces what I'm going to talk about before I ever get there. Okay, so different ways you can do it. Put it in soup. Potatoes are a great way to hashtag bulk up soup if it's a 0 point vegetable for you. And even if it's not, it's still a great way to bulk up your soup. Okay. I'm going to breathe for just a second. Okay, I'm going to slow down for just a second. So the next thing is fun finds. I always forget about these things when I don't have potatoes on as a 0 point food. So I went back to the grocery store, went through, scan everything. We talked about this the first week. So the very first week, and I don't remember what chat number that was, when we were talking about the new personal points plan and talking about the personal points engine and how it was going to calculate all these things so that you have a calorie deficit and that you are losing weight, which I will say I'm definitely losing weight. I can tell, I'm not going to flash you all, but I can tell because I can see this again. So when I can start to see my collarbone, that's how I know whatever the scale says, the scale says. But I know I'm headed on the right track when I can see and feel, I can feel my collarbone. So that means I am losing weight. That is a non-scale victory for sure. So, but back when we were talking about personal points when it first started, and we were talking about the careful calculations to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit, that also means that you've got to take a tiny bit of responsibility in this. And that when I say if potatoes are a 0 point food for you, that you're going to eat a serving of potatoes and then eat another serving of potatoes if you're still hungry. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you can get a 2-pound potato if you live in Knoxville and you know what Buddy's barbecue is. I have no idea where they get these potatoes from, but I'm not kidding, they're that big. So this is actually a pretty big potato, but this is what I would eat. This is the size that I would eat. You can see how it fits in my hands. That is what I would eat if I was going to eat a loaded baked potato, and again, stuff it with chicken breast, chicken breast that I've already cooked, and a little bit of cheese, some non-fat plain sour cream, or not non-fat plain Greek yogurt as my sour cream. You can put some chives in there, a little bit of bacon, something like that. But that's and broccoli with a little bit of cheese on it. That's the size I would get. But I always forget when I'm not doing potatoes as 0 points and go through and scan everything that some of these things are 0 points already. So one of the things that I forget about, plain old diced hash brown potatoes. So you can get diced or you can get shredded hash brown potatoes. Check it, scan it, because one of the brands already had oil and some kind of non-caking agent and something added to it. It had points. This is plain old, it's just Ore-Ida diced hash brown potatoes, and it literally has, oh yeah, Lynn says McAllister's does too, I forgot about that. But this one literally just has, the ingredients are potatoes, dextrose, sodium acid, pyrophosphate to retain the color. Excuse me, so I forget about that. So plain old hash brown, little tiny cubed potatoes, and shredded hash browns. If you get the ones that have nothing added, they are 0 points. So Carol was talking about adding them to her breakfast. Melinda was just now talking about it. Let's see. Oh, Carol gets the O'Brien's one. O'Brien that has peppers and onions already in it. And she adds extra peppers to hashtag bulk it up because she knows how much I love that. But these are fantastic, and we're actually going to make something with these here in just a few minutes. But don't forget about that. So you can add a little bit of potatoes. That would be good to add into some soup. You could make some potato soup with this. Just saying. Okay, so that's for the diced or for the shredded hash browns. I gotta keep an eye on the time to make sure. Also, I make mashed potatoes, and everybody loves my mashed potatoes. They love them, but I have never, ever, never peeled, chopped up, boiled, and made mashed potatoes. I always use cheater mashed potatoes. Okay, so I made these for Thanksgiving, and they were gone. Nearly all of them. You can use, these are just, and they don't have to be Arata brand. You can get, whatever brand. Oh yeah, and Lynn's exactly right. Simply Potatoes is in the, it's in just the refrigerated section. It's not in the frozen section. And they also have some that have nothing added to them and are 0 points. These happen to be across the street at Food City. You can get whatever brand you can get as long as it's just potatoes. So these are also Arata, and they're home style steam and mash. These are real potatoes. This is not dehydrated potatoes. They're just already cut up and ready to go. I literally poured 3 bags of this into a crock pot and then added everything else that I was going to use to make loaded mashed potatoes, and they made themselves. Okay, so you can find that on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can find my loaded mashed potatoes recipe is on there, and it's regular or vegan, so you can find it both ways. So this is an absolutely fun find. I love these. They're just so easy. They're so stinking easy. Also, Skinny Taste has a scalloped au gratin potatoes recipe, and you can just go to, hello, Hattie. You can just go to skinnytaste.com and search scalloped au gratin, and you'll find those there. That's a great way to use potatoes if they're a 0 point food for you. Like I mentioned before, Pound Dropper has a creamy potato cheese soup. It's fantastic if it's soup time for you. And for our last few minutes, I'm going to show you how to make a super easy air fryer potato omelet bake. So this is going to make, this serves two. I'm not encouraging you to eat this whole thing as a single, okay, as one serving. This is a 2 serving thing, okay? So don't get excited or simultaneously, oh, what are you doing, when you see this. So this is 2 servings, and this will be posted maybe Monday, but likely by Tuesday on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So in the air fryer, you can use anything that you can use in the oven. So you can use silicone. These happen to be little ceramic, let's see, what are they called? They're Temptations Presentable Ovenware. So it's just a nice little size. You can use whatever size you want to. Just make sure it's something that's okay to put in your air fryer. And so to make these, and again, you're just going to make a serving for 2. So you can either share this with a spouse or a friend or your favorite kid before you go out and make that snowman, like we talked about earlier. You can do that, or you can save half of it, And Vicki wants to know if I'm eating lunch now. So Vicki, I have a new girl. Her name is Kendall, and Kendall, if you were watching this, because she just figured out that we actually do this, like. She's a month in, and then she saw IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and she was like, wait, so this is like a thing? And I said, yeah, this is like a thing, because we sell countertops during the day. That's our non-superhero power. But anyway, so yes, Kendall has been here a month now. She's been here a little over a month now, and it's working out well. It still has to be really quick, but yes, I am eating lunch at work now. It's not fancy and fantastic, but I am eating lunch. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is take a cup. This is 1 cup of the diced hash brown potatoes. So whichever brand you decide to get, or you can use the shredded ones if you want to. So you're going to just add a cup to a bowl. Then you're going to add 2 eggs, and these are just regular cage-free brown free-roaming happy bottom chicken eggs, or happy chicken bottom eggs. Okay, and pour that in there. You can use egg whites if you want to. If you don't want to use eggs, you could use 1 egg and then, some egg whites. You're going to put that in there. Then, this is what I thought I did not get out of the refrigerator, but apparently I did. So, I needed some quick, fat-free cream cheese. I have stopped buying fat-free cream cheese. There's really no reason to buy it when you can make it this easy. A couple of people mentioned a coffee filter, so I did that this time and it worked fantastically. This has only been in the refrigerator for a few hours, and it's perfect. It's already cream cheese. Ooh, I just spilled. Okay, let me show you how good this is. And I'm using the spoon that I just dug in the egg with, but nobody's gonna eat the rest of this. So look at that. Do you see how thick that is? Let me get over here. Well, you can't see it because my apron's white too. Look at that. That is cream cheese. So I have successfully made fat-free cream cheese in a mesh coffee filter and a coffee mug in about 4 hours. Okay, overnight is better, but look at all that liquid that came out of there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, so you're going to put whatever your desired amount of fat-free cream cheese is. That was about 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to do 1/4 of a cup of Velveeta shreds, just original Velveeta shreds, because those are lower in points. And I'm going to do about 1/4 of a cup of 98 or 99% fat-free diced ham. I'm going to do a sprinkle of Bragg nutritional yeast. And if you don't know what Bragg nutritional yeast is, you've got to go back and watch that chat. There's like 20 of them. But that is what that is, Bragg nutritional yeast. And it is chock full of vitamins. Absolutely delicious. I don't know why I'm still standing here shaking it. Yes, Vicky says, or Canadian bacon. Exactly right. And then you're going to do, oh, and I'm sorry, on the fat-free cream cheese, that is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, so you can go there and find that recipe. So stinking easy. And that is so much cheaper than buying fat-free cream cheese, and I can make it however much I want. So I literally made enough to make 2 of these, and that's it. I did not have to buy a block of cream cheese. And then you're going to put your favorite seasoning in there. And tonight I'm using Dax Italian Blast. And if you want to, you can, and you're going to stir it up. And if you want to, you can add all kinds of veggies. You could put zucchini and squash would be really good in this. Onions would be good in this. Peppers, all kinds of vegetables would be good in this. So you can hashtag bulk it up. You're going to get all of that good mix together. So you can see we literally made this in what? 5 minutes, because it's like 7 till. So we just made all of this in like, oh, it's like 5 till. So we just made all this in like 5 minutes. The longest part is going to be waiting on it to cook in the air fryer. When you get done, when all this is stirred together, when all of this is stirred together and you get whatever veggies you want in there. So if you want mushrooms, again, I'm thinking zucchini. I'm thinking zucchini and squash. I don't know why, but all of a sudden that's what I'm thinking about putting in this. But whatever veggies you want to put in there, you know, make them kind of small, make them about the size of the potatoes. So you can kind of see here what the, whoop, let me get out of the way because my white apron. So the little of the diced potatoes. So if you make the veggies about the same size, then it's going to cook up nicely. And then you're going to take, this is for this size, and this is going to make 2, I'm going to say this is probably a 2-cup little thing. You know, it's probably going to make 1 cup of each, but this is safe to use in the air fryer. You're going to mix all that together. Put, ooh, and Carol Lou says asparagus is good with eggs. That is good with eggs. I could have put salmon in here and done salmon and eggs. But anyway, spray this lightly with some nonstick spray. Pour that in. You're going to put that in your air fryer on 300 because we're trying to cook the eggs, but we're trying not to let it get too brown. So I will say this, an air fryer is not 1-to-1 temperature and time wise from an oven. So start lower with an air fryer. So if it says 360, try like 320 or, you know, something lower. So you're going to put this in the air fryer on 300 for 25 minutes, and then take it out at 25 minutes and kind of check it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like done, so you'll know if it's actually done. But check it at about 25 minutes. And like with my air fryer, I needed about 5 more minutes to make it, you know, finished. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you're done. And I did not put any veggies in this one just for the sake of time and because I'm probably going to take this one home to John. But this is what it looks like when it's done. So it is a little, so it's just a little casserole. So it's a little breakfast casserole, and it's got those little potatoes. It's got a little bit of cheese. It's got the nutritional yeast, some seasoning, and making the cream cheese making the fat-free cream cheese makes it feel like it has more cheese than the actual cheese that I put in there. But it is absolutely delicious. I've already tried it, but I'm going to try it for you all again. So since this is 0, since the potatoes are 0 points for me, this is going to be a really low point option for me. And again, you could use whatever kind of protein. You don't have to make it something with meat. If you like hash brown casserole, this would be really good with garlic in it. Again, I'm thinking zucchini and squash. So there are a few things that you can make if potatoes are on your 0 points list. I hope you all found something that you like. I'm going to show you one more thing real quick. I'm done cooking. If you are watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and let the next video roll over. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe here and check that little bell so that you'll know when the next video comes up. But really quickly, before we go, I wanted to say I had so many people ask about my coffee mug the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to say really quickly, the girl who made them, she brought me some more mugs. I have this one, looks the closest to my mug, and I will post pictures of these. They'll be on Casey Kitchen Center, on the Casey Kitchen Center Instagram. So if you just find, look at that one. Is that not stinking cute? That one is so cute. Her business is called Open Kiln, and it's just a little local business. Look how pretty that one is. These are so pretty. So she brought me all the mugs that she had left. So here are the rest of them. All these pretty blues. Here's a little tiny one. If no one buys this one, I'll probably get that one. I don't know. That one just is so cute. That one is beautiful. They're all so pretty. Anyway, so she brought me the last of her mugs. And for those of you asking about the tea, we have allergy tea. These are Tanya Reed. She is a licensed herbalist. We have allergy tea, gut soothing tea, Bubba's Blend, Scruffy City Chill, Immunity. So like for your immunity. She's hilarious. Cleanse tea. So for those of you that are doing cleanses in between your holiday meals, she's got a cleanse tea. Bubba's Pumpkin Patch, chocolate tea. So it's a chocolate flavored tea, and Market Square Memories. So I'm not going to bore you all with that anymore, but for those of you who asked, I do have the rest of the mugs. The mugs are anywhere from 15 to, I believe 25. And again, I'll post those on KC Kitchen Center. I'm not going to but I'm not going to fill up the If You Have an Egg Instagram with pictures of the mugs, but there, look at this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, I keep picking this one back up. Look how pretty that is. And that one's 15. And yes, we can ship them. So I'll put those on the KC Kitchen Center. It's just the letter K, the letter C, Kitchen Center Instagram. If y'all want to go over there and check that out. They're not on there yet, but I will try to get those on there tomorrow. But again, thank you all very much for being here. I hope if potatoes are on your 0 points list, that you've learned something, found something, that you've got a great idea. If they're not on your 0 points list, I hope you still enjoyed it. So y'all have a great week. I will see you next time. Dusty is trying to decide whether or not he is going to eat this scrambled bake. So I'm not going to pick him up because he's a little too excited about what we got up here on the island. But y'all have a great week. I had another good time, and I will see you next time. See you next week. Don't forget to do your homework. Good night.